All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for a few real people out there, just like you and just like me. So I could be the only person in the United States that would share this album with folks. This is King of the World, and this is, I believe, their second album, could be second or third album. It's called Cincinnati. All right. I have their latest album called Royal 10 as well in my collection. This is a blues rock band from the Netherlands. All right. And there's a whole thing going on over there that people don't know about. And it's a pretty cool scene. This is kind of like contemporary blues. Um, so if you're into like really old school blues, this isn't it. This is a very accessible album. They do a version of Life in the Fast Lane on this, which is just brilliant because they kind of combine two classic riffs into one song. There's a little bit of Rocky Mountain Way in it. So, but the whole album from start to finish, great singing, great playing. It sounds terrific in the headphones and highly recommended. Again, blues from the Netherlands. All right. And there's no link to share for this other than if you go to the band's website, kingoftheworld.eu, I think is how you're going to get there. But fantastic. Just blew me away the first time I heard it. I have no idea how I stumbled on that. That wasn't the algorithm. I just don't know. I might have typed in something incorrectly and there you go. So King of the World. All right. Well, the queen of the world, at least in the world of Fleetwood Mac, appears to be Stevie Nicks. A new interview with Neil Finn pretty much says what we already know, but confirms it in a bit of a bigger way. Neil Finn is reflecting on his time with Fleetwood Mac. In a new interview with Mojo, Finn describes Mick Fleetwood as the heart and soul of the band, but notes that Stevie is very much the leader of the group because Stevie wants it the way Stevie wants it, and that's the way it'll be. And it seems she wanted it to sound just like Lindsey. Okay. Um, Full stop. All right. So she throws Lindsey out of the band. And she tells everybody no. And as you know, I took a very pro Lindsey Buckingham approach on this channel. I started investigating a lot of stuff about Stevie Nicks, and it led me down some places I just, you know, look, I liked Stevie Nicks in a generic kind of way growing up listening to all of this stuff. I liked her in Fleetwood Mac. I liked some of her solo material. But finding out the stuff I found out, I was just kind of disappointed in some of the things she believes in more than anything else, and some of the causes that she seems to be very vigilant about. And guess what? Lindsey Buckingham might have the same worldview, but he isn't as irritable to me as Stevie Nicks. And, you know, you can go down either path here. Stevie Nicks can say, hey, I'm super talented and I just shot past Lindsey Buckingham. And Lindsey Buckingham can say, well, you'd probably be nothing without me, since remember, we were joining Fleetwood Mac as a package, as you and I, because they wanted just Lindsey. And Lindsey says, no, I'm bringing my girlfriend with me. And that's a true story. Nobody's denying that. So it's a little bit of both, obviously. But this Neil Finn interview is very interesting because he basically says the quiet part out loud because Stevie wants it the way Stevie wants it. And that's the way it will be. And apparently she wanted it to sound like Lindsey. Now get this. She couldn't bear to be in a band with Lindsey anymore, but she still wanted to do it exactly the way he would have, according to Neil Finn. She was really happy with the way it sounded between me and her, but she apparently put a lot of pressure on Mike Campbell to be more like Lindsey Buckingham. Now, that didn't work at all because the Lindsey fans during this whole debacle, the Lindsey fans were complaining about Mike Campbell's playing. Now, look, I said at the time, and I still stand by that Mike Campbell is a great guitarist, like top notch, one of the better guitar players. But he did not fit Fleetwood Mac. His style, his tone, everything about him, because you can't replace Lindsey. That's the problem. They tried it in 1990. It didn't work out so well. And again, it took two guys to try to replace Lindsey then. They tried the same formula here, and I think it look, I'm sure Irving Azoff was impressed with the tour as far as bringing in some money, which it did. And they make this into, hey, it's a celebrity Fleetwood Mac, because you got Neil Finn and you got Mike Campbell and Fleetwood Mac, and ooh, that's kind of cool. Remember Paul Rodgers plus Queen? It just baffled me. It's Queen plus Paul Rodgers or whatever. And I'm like, those two things really don't go together. But people were like, oh, hey, that's kind of cool. If you forgot about Paul Rodgers plus Queen, go back and check it out. Paul Rodgers doing all of these Queen songs with Queen and playing concerts. It was all right, but it's not Freddie Mercury, right? Doesn't really have anything to do with. It's like one thing doesn't really correspond with the other. I mean, Paul doesn't sound like Freddie, and Mike doesn't play like Lindsey at all. Neil Finn goes on to say this: sometimes Mike's solos would go on, and Stevie would get exhausted playing tambourine. She'd be effing hell. Lindsey only did 12 bars. So she wanted him out of the band, right? And now this is what I always say. You don't like somebody, you just have them go on the other side of the stage. You create enough drama and tension just by being on the stage together, and you would sell a mountain of tickets. If they ever still want to do this, which there are rumors, sorry to use that word, but there are rumors flying around that maybe in 2025. But it's, nothing that I've heard would be anything different from what I've heard this year. But Stevie is out there on her own. She's got dates with Billy Joel. Lindsey seems to be kind of quiet right now. So who knows? But 2025, if it's going to happen, that'll be the year. I mean, everybody is getting so old. And, look, without Christine, some people are just going to be like, no, you can't do it without Christine. But they did do it before without Christine McVie, and people showed up to see it. I think people would show up to see the Lindsey Stevie Drama Festival. I really do. So Neil Finn goes on to say, as for Lindsey, he's never met him, but would like to have dinner with him one day. He says, there's a lot of ill will, but I don't think he bears any towards me. And I do think he had prior appreciation of the music I'd made. Hopefully, once he got over the massive disappointment, he'd have thought at least someone with something going for them is singing my songs. Well, if you check out all the interviews that Lindsey did, he wasn't happy with this. He called it a cover band. I don't know if he, disliked Neil Finn personally, but this was, again, just trying to make Fleetwood Mac into something else. They're doing Crowded House songs. They're doing Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers songs. And this is the whole new concert scene, Irving Azoff. Let's put this together and we'll get people to go because of all the name ID on the signs, on the marquees. And we'll create buzz. And they have a whole network, by the way, between Ticketmaster and all the promotions that they do. They are machines. So they can turn something kind of mediocre into something that everybody just wants to have a ticket for. And that's the genius of the whole thing. By the way, in case you care, Finn is getting ready to release a new album with Crowded House called Gravity Stairs, the band's 8th studio album and the first since 2021's Dreamers Are Waiting. The album comes out on May 31st. It is available for pre-order now. So there you have it. Neil Finn says the quiet part out loud. Stevie wants it the way Stevie wants it, and that's it. And he played nice in that band. I mean, they couldn't have found a nicer guy, like a more congenial sort of just, personality that isn't in conflict with anybody or anything. They couldn't have found a guy uh, more opposite to the tension that Lindsey and Stevie created together, which, quite honestly, for Fleetwood Mac fans, made this very disappointing. Remember the casual chemistry they talked about? I'll never forget how one reviewer said that, and I was just using that in multiple videos. The casual chemistry between Neil Finn and Stevie Nicks. What the heck is casual chemistry? It's just, it's not chemistry. It's boring. And, people missed the crazy, off the charts chemistry between Stevie and Lindsey. 2025, I mean, I'm holding out hope, maybe, just because it would be fun to talk about this band one more time. Some would say, again, it's sacrilegious to do it without Christine McVie. I don't know. I'm kind of split. I do miss Christine because I think she was more talented than Stevie. And, without her, the band just isn't the same band. But maybe you do a tribute to her. Maybe you bring someone in to try to help sing those songs, because I don't want Stevie Nicks singing all of these Christine McVie songs. I just don't. Anyway, here's King of the World. This is their album called Cincinnati. They're a blues rock band from the Netherlands. Again, I don't think anybody else on YouTube is promoting this band. This isn't their latest album. They have another album that came out, and I've been promoting that one, or I have promoted that one in the past. But check out King of the World. I think it's kingoftheworld.eu to go to their European website and browse their music. And I'm sure they have merch that you can order if you'd like to become a fan here in the United States. I think they'll be shocked. You got to tell them that Dave sent you. I'm sure they'll be impressed by that, right? And folks, if you can continue to support this channel, the touchy subject, views are up, revenue is down. So I don't know what to make of that, but it's 2024. I was hoping there'd be a few advertisers soon, because political crazy season is here. And advertise. Go ahead, put your stuff on my channel. It'd be fine. I'm not taking a side, that's for sure. I am going to remain neutral, and hopefully the advertisers will be fine with putting their ads right on my videos. And I thank everybody for putting up with those ads. If you're not doing the Patreon thing, the best thing you can do is sit through these ads. I know it's tedious, but say you're lazy like me and you don't want to get off the couch and do anything. You just let the video roll and just leave the remote alone. All right, people, I'm out of gas here. Thanks for watching. God bless everyone. Continue to pray for peace, though, in the Middle East and around the world. And I will talk to everybody soon.